Dagoth Ur has been defeated, the blight has been lifted from Red Mountain, and with the sun once again shining, the ruins of the past can now be seen. For ages ago, the Redoran built an outpost on Red Mountain, a town built around a rich vein of ebony ore, before the blight, before the return of the Sixth House. Now the town of Hasimminus lies in ruins, but with the blight gone, a noble lord of Great House Redoran seeks to reclaim his family's honour, to restore Hasimminus and recover the relics of his ancestors. Will you assist him on this journey? Will you delve deep into the forgotten passages of Hasimminus Mine, deep into the depths of Red Mountain itself? Can you root out and defeat one of the last strongholds of the Sixth House? Or will you seek to enrich your own great house, paving the way for the Hlaalu to claim control of this vital ebony mine, lacing their pockets with profits and rebuilding Hasimminus in their image? Or will you help the Telvanni, always looking for opportunities to expand and grow their roots where once ruined Redoran buildings stood? The choice is yours, for today's mod of the day is the Reclamation of Hasimminus Mine by Team Nordic Chefs. Composed of Enclave Killer, Lady Phoenix Faros, Mort, and Pikachu TM. As you may have gathered from that introduction, today's mod of the day is a real treat. A combined quest, dungeon, and town mod where your Great House Allegiance just directly affects the outcome, with 3 completely different possible towns being constructed on Red Mountain, after you've beaten the main quest. To begin, there's about 4 different ways that you can start your adventure to Hasimminus Mine. After defeating Dagoth Ur, you can pursue new faction quests with the Hlaalu, Telvanni, and Redoran to help reclaim Hasimminus. Assuming, of course, that you haven't already become the Grand Master of those factions. Or you can meet Lord Rathis in Ghost Gate and help him avenge his family's honour and retrieve a lost artifact from Hasimminus Mine. Whichever way you begin, you'll have to travel to the ruins of Hasimminus, an ancient Redoran village built near the top of Red Mountain. Nothing remains of this village except for destroyed and ruined buildings, ravaged by years of neglect and the constant blight storms. But the entrance to the Hasimminus Mine is still open, and within you'll find a battle awaiting you, for while you may have defeated Dagoth Ur, elements of the Sixth House have made Hasimminus Mine their base, and you'll need to fight your way into the depths below in order to recover what you seek. And this is a fairly sizable dungeon, delving deep into Red Mountain, full of Sixth House dreamers and ascended sleepers for you to face and fight. Hasimminus Mine is not only a sizable dungeon for you to explore, but it's also richly detailed, with just lots of atmospheric elements from the sinister red lighting, a trademark of the Sixth House, to numerous shrines, idols, and statues, not to mention some just perilous passageways over pits of lava. With a lot of heavily armed Sixth House cultists, the dungeon portion of this mod should take you about half an hour, or possibly a little more, to fight through. And depending on which faction questline you're doing, you won't be fighting alone. You could be fighting alongside Lord Rathis to help purge Hasimminus Mine of Sixth House influences. And honestly, this is just a pretty fun dungeon romp. It's a pretty fun adventure to go on. But of course, the dungeon is only just one part of this mod. The other part is the actual restoration of both the village of Hasimminus and the Hasimminus Mine itself, which you can do for the Great House faction of your choice. If you help the Hlaalu, they'll build a new settlement, complete with Hlaalu architecture, naturally, fortified walls, cranes, and a reopened Hasimminus Mine that's been cleared out of any remaining vestiges of the Sixth House. On the other hand, if you help the Telvanni, they'll grow a new Telvanni tower at Hasimminus, complete with a number of Telvanni house pods and, typical Telvanni root and mushroom structures. Or, of course, you could just help the Redoran and restore Hasimminus Mine as a renewed and rebuilt Redoran settlement in the hostile environment of Red Mountain. Whichever path you choose, there is quite a bit of content just jam-packed into this mod. And given that this is, once again, another mod in our retrospective series on the Mods of Madness past, just to make that even more impressive. For the Reclamation of Hasimminus Mine was submitted for the first round of the 2018 Madness competition, which was a 6-house and Great Houses themed round, and the Nordic Chefs had only 2 weeks to build this whole thing. And not only did they build a dungeon mod, but they effectively built 3 separate towns, that is no small feat, especially in such a ridiculously limited amount of time in which to build them. That's 14 days, 3 towns. Now, to be sure, the team did cut a few corners here and there. The Hlaalu town suffers the most from copy and pasted interiors, for example. But both the Telvanni and Redoran towns have unique and fairly sizable interiors. And even pulling off that many interiors with a sizable dungeon alongside is just, that is an incredible accomplishment. The Reclamation of Hasimminus Mine ended up rightfully impressing judges, coming in 3rd place for the first round of the 2018 competition, behind only Mimea Awakened and Kogarun Expanded, and was honestly, I think, one of the more impressive mods that we've seen from a Madness competition. Though, certainly, as you've already seen with this series, there have been just quite a few amazing mods released from Madness over the years. Real quick though, I do need to note that Reclamation of Hasimminus Mine does have a couple of bugs, including the accidental deletion of a ghost fence pillar in the Ashland region that still hasn't officially been fixed by the team. There's also the minor issue of the towns feeling just, perhaps a wee bit empty, with not terribly much to do in them once they've been built. I mean, it's always cool to see the world change and update to reflect your actions, but having just a bit more actual content to check out at Hasimminus would just, would have been pretty neat. And I do hope the team comes back and does an update on this mod at some point, because, it does truly have just a ton of potential. Of course, what's here already is more than worth playing, but, that's just our mod of the day, so, as always, I've been your host, Dark Elf Guy. Thanks for watching, stay safe, stay healthy, happy modding, and I'll see you all next time.